Alright, welcome back. This week we're going to go with a classic nymph pattern. We're going to go with a Montana stone. I haven't tied one of these in probably 20 years. It's been quite some time, but this is honestly a great pattern for a beginner. It teaches you thread control, spacing, and there's not a ton of material. It's a very simple pattern, a very good nymph pattern to start with. Like I said, just for getting the basics, getting the fundamentals down. So it was a good one for me to start with back in the day. We're going to go ahead and get zoomed in here. I don't tie these very often. I don't tie them at all anymore. Just because there's so many other different Stonefly nymphs that I tie. And we'll get into a lot of those. I mean, there's a couple that I'm still working on right now, trying to get everything just how I want it. But like I said, for beginning, and it's still an effective pattern, don't get me wrong, it's still going to catch fish. Any nymph is really going to catch fish given the proper drift and depth in the water and all that stuff. So I mean, tie some of these up, fish them up. I mean, heck, I might even take a couple of these up, you know, sometime later in the year and mess around with it, maybe for nostalgia purposes. But to start with this one, I'm going to go with some brown Goose Biots. And you can tie these in brown and black. Those are like the really common colors for this one. But I mean, if you want to do olive, whatever it may be, I mean, spin them up. So we'll get this measured out. We're going to take this just shy of the length of the hook. Get a couple of loose wraps on here and cinch this down. Hopefully it's not rotating on me here. I got a feeling it's going to want to, but we're good. We're good. So the hook on this one is actually a streamer hook. This is a 4X long size 12 streamer hook. I've found at Daiichi 1750. I'll get you a quick peek at the package there so you can see without any glare. There we go. I found, you know, just when you tie these on the regular nymph hooks, like a lot of the commercial ones are, because you're using regular chenille, it just seems bulky to me and it just seems out of place on the hook. So I lengthen out the hook on this. I even did this, you know, when I was a kid tying these. It just didn't seem right having it on a small hook, so I lengthen that out. And the majority of your stoneflies, quite honestly, are a lot bigger than the standard nymph hook, so I'm bigger. It just makes it look a little bit easier. So I'm going to roll this out, and this is honestly, you take a look at the card, this was in the first set of materials that I ever bought. This shows you how much I tie with regular chenille these days. Look at this, Universal Vice Corporation. I wonder, 25 cents too, boy, that was a deal back then. I would love to know how old this is. I would guess, you know, 20 plus years. Kind of taking me back a little bit. So we're just gonna peel some of this material away. So we're just tying in the yarn, and this is gonna be the body and our overwing, or our not really the overwing, like our shuck, or the right word will come to me here in a minute. But we'll take this up to the 2/3 point, give this a quick half hitch. Obviously you don't have to use the rotary function on a vise. I'm just so accustomed to doing it. This is what I use. Winding them by hand just feels unnatural these days. And I'm going to back that off a little bit. I didn't like how that taper looked. There we go. That's a little better. So, get this tied off. And then we'll take probably, give yourself a little bit of extra material, take probably, I don't know, 1.5 inches of extra material. I'm going to put this antique away before it turns to dust. It's pretty cool. So we're going to take a little bit of extra material, and I'm just going to double this back over. Same thing, pick this out, just tie in your yarn strands. Oh, get in there. And double this back over. So there you have that. You have a nice little loop right there. We're going to wind up folding that back over everything else. Next we're going to take just a regular brown saddle and find, it looks pretty close to the length we want. We're going to take this brown saddle, get it tied in, and clip this off. Tie in the brown saddle. Knox was trying to get in the camera, she didn't realize I was zoomed in. Next time, Black Dog. And tie off your hackle. Grab some yellow chenille. This stuff's probably just as old as the brown, if not. Well, yeah, I would say it's just as old as brown. I can't believe I still have this stuff around. Actually, when I was looking, when I decided that I was going to do this pattern, I'm like, man, I might have to go buy chenille. I haven't tied with that stuff in years, and I went into the one chest that I have here, and wouldn't you know it, I have all of this old material. It's actually pretty neat to go through it. Take a look at it. It takes me back a little bit. So, enough of rambling on here. So all we're really going to do is just take and get 3 good wraps of yellow. Like I said, you can do this in black too if you want. Black, olive, whatever color, it doesn't matter. Take this yellow, get it tied off, and then we're going to follow it up with a couple more solid wraps here first. There we go. Then we're going to follow that up with our saddle. Just make probably 3 wraps. Let's see if I can sneak a 4th in there. Probably not. We'll just keep it with 3 wraps. Good. Tie off your hackle. I'm rushing this one a decent amount. Having that bulk of the brown marabou here is going to be interesting. So then I just give this a quick spin. Actually, before that, just clip this stuff on the top. Clip your hackle on the top. Give your chenille a quick spin. Pull this tight and tie this off. There we go. I did rush the head just a little bit, but I think it's going to be just fine. There you go. Give it a quick whip finish. Pull some of this hackle down to the side. I like those to be a little bit longer. It just, I don't know. I like the way it looks just a little bit longer as opposed to being short, and I like the saddle as opposed to, you know, the neck hackle. But there it is. There is the classic Montana Stone for being the first one of these that I tied in 20 years. Well, I guess it looks half decent. We'll let it go. But anyhow, you got the pattern. The steps to tie it, you could probably tie it a heck of a lot better than, make it look a heck of a lot better than I did on that one. But for the first one in 20 years, we'll take it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you on next week's fly.